The Los Angeles Police Protective League is offering condolences to the families of the officers killed and injured in the attack in Baton Rouge. The league's president, Craig Lally, joins us now here in studio. Craig, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.
So, Craig, the rhetoric between the people who are very upset at the police shootings and the people upset at people shooting police is growing louder and louder every single day. It just seems like we're starting this vicious circle. What do you say to people to calm them down, to rein them back in and stop this circle of violence?
Well, I think it starts with the leadership across this country, starting with the President of the United States. I happened to see his press conference today, and it made me sick the way he spoke.
In what way? Why?
Well, because he does the usual. I feel sorry for the families. Justice will be served. The typical talking points. Well, justice was served. This person tried to assassinate police officers, and the officers killed him to try to prevent him from killing more police officers. And then he runs off the stage without any questions being asked. There's an epidemic out here. There's a fear. The police officers are very worried out there because nobody's worried about their safety. They're always worried about everybody else's safety, but there's no topic of conversation throughout this country. How are we going to protect these police officers to just doing their daily job? They work 24/7. How are we going to prevent this from happening? So we've had 10 police officers killed in the last 10 days. That's unacceptable. Where's the rhetoric? Where's all these leaders across the country? Where's the mayors? Where are the governors to figure out how are we going to protect our police officers because they're getting assassinated out there. They're the targets of this events, not the crowds, not anybody else. The police officers are the targets. How are we going to protect them?
All right. And Craig, also that shooter, Gavin Long, I think we showed you the clip earlier. He made a YouTube video before that attack. Here's an excerpt from that. Let's go ahead and take a look at that recording.
But when an African fights back, it's wrong. But every time a European fights back against his oppressor, he's right. You gotta fight back. That's the only way a bully knows to quit. He doesn't know words. He can't understand words, I promise you. He doesn't understand protests. If y'all want to keep protesting, do that. But for the serious ones, the real ones, the alpha ones, we know what it's going to take.
What do you make of that? And that must be concerning for police that this type of thing seems to be happening more and more, people making these types of statements.
Yeah, it's very concerning. What happened in Baton Rouge, what happened in Dallas could happen anywhere in the country. It could have happened very easily in LA. It could happen at the Democratic convention in Cleveland the Republican convention coming in Cleveland and in Philadelphia. You got these people out there. I hope to God it doesn't happen, but when you have a large amount of police officers at an event, whether it be a Laker parade, a demonstration, Democratic, Republican conventions, that it could happen again, and that's my biggest fear right now.
You were saying that you were really frustrated that the president, after he gave his speech and you called him talking points, left without answering any questions from the media and others there at that press conference. What would you have liked to ask him? What would make you satisfied as far as an action that is taken not only from the president but other leaders statewide, like you mentioned, mayors, governors, local leadership? What do you want to see happen to see some change?
I want to know what they're doing to protect cops doing their daily jobs. They're the targets of these horrendous events. What is government doing to protect them? President
Obama. What would you
suggest?
Well,
I'll give you a perfect example. President Obama took away a military equipment that was usually given to the prior administrations, gave to police agencies across the country, rescue vehicles, armored personnel carriers for down not only police officers, citizens. They took that away. I want that reinstated. I want equipment from the government to help protect us better. That's a perfect example. It doesn't cost the government any money, but the fear is we'll become too militaristic. Well, guess what? We need that stuff to protect not only a situation like what happened in Dallas where we had police officers laying in the street. We have to get to those people to save them. And we can't do it by using police cars because automatic gunfire cuts through it like butter.
A lot of unanswered questions right now, a lot of emotions running high on both sides on this argument, obviously. Craig Lally, the president of the Los Angeles Police Protective League, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Pleasure
we
being
appreciate
here.
it.
Thank you, Craig.
Stay with